The film begins with a flashback. We meet Tika, a hardworking single woman who lives in Unit 510 of Samaya Apartments. She works every day and finds joy in the little moments of life. One night after returning from grocery shopping, she walks into her apartment and discovers a major problem. Water is dripping from the ceiling. In the bathroom, it looks like it's raining. She kicks off her wet shoes and stares at the mess in disbelief. "What is going on here?" she mutters, trying to control her frustration. Without wasting any time, Tika heads down to the lobby, where Boo, the building receptionist, is sitting at her desk. Tika tells her, "My ceiling is leaking badly. The bathroom's completely flooded." Boo becomes noticeably nervous, as if she's hiding something. She quickly says, "Don't worry, Tika. A technician will come tomorrow to fix it." But Tika isn't satisfied. "I think the leak is coming from Unit 610. On the 6th floor," she insists. "You need to go up there and check it out." Boo's expression hardens. After a moment, she replies, "No one is allowed on the 6th floor. It's a building rule. You'll have to wait until tomorrow." Reluctantly, Tika heads back to her unit, but something doesn't sit right with her. Her mind keeps going back to the 6th floor. What's really up there? What are they hiding? The following night, the leak gets even worse. Tika finally loses her patience. She decides she's done waiting. She'll go to the 6th floor herself and get to the bottom of this mystery. She gets into the elevator, only to find that the button for the 6th floor is disabled. Determined, she takes the emergency stairs. With each step, her heartbeat quickens. When she reaches the 6th floor, she's greeted by a large padlock on the entry door. She pulls out a small toolbox from her bag and starts working on the lock. Eventually, it breaks open. The door creaks slowly open, revealing a dark, empty corridor. The lights flicker, and there's a musty, old smell hanging in the air. As she walks, the echo of her footsteps follows her, and she can't shake the feeling that someone's watching. She arrives at the door of Unit 610. It's slightly ajar. Inside, she sees a large cabinet standing against the wall and an old clock ticking. Slowly, eerily, like time itself has stopped. Suddenly, she hears a woman's voice coming from the bathroom. Tika calls out, "Who's there?" Thinking someone might be living there, she steps toward the bathroom. The door creaks open by itself, and the scene inside is nothing short of a nightmare. Tika sees a woman inside and freezes in fear. It's Kunti Lanak, bathing her little son in the tub. The child is crying, shivering. "Mommy, it's cold," he whimpers. Tika realizes something is terribly wrong. The water is freezing, the atmosphere oppressive. Terrified, she turns and bolts out of the apartment, running all the way back to her own unit, 510. 4 days later, everything changes for Tika. Unable to stay alone in her apartment, she visits her friend Uni. Tika confides in her, "I feel like someone's following me. I keep seeing this shadowy figure. It's always there," she tells Uni about a time she got locked inside a warehouse and couldn't breathe, and how while swimming, it felt like someone was pulling her legs underwater. The fear has taken over her life, and it all started on the 6th floor. Uni heard this and grew worried for Tika. She took her to a doctor. After the checkup, the doctor revealed that Tika might be suffering from depression and experiencing hallucinations. But things only got worse. One night, while Tika was brushing her teeth in the bathroom, she suddenly saw Kunti Lanak's reflection in the mirror. Terrified, she let out a loud scream. Just then, the faucet turned on by itself, and the water slowly began to turn red, as if it wasn't water at all, but blood. Oni, who was in the kitchen at the time, heard the scream and rushed to the bathroom. But when she got there, she was horrified to find Tika's lifeless body lying on the floor. Broken like a doll, shocked and devastated, Oni let out a scream. Her best friend Tika was gone. A few months later, we meet Alma, a woman running a small restaurant in Surabaya. Her business was failing, and on top of that, she had to support her younger sister Mian's education and pay for their mother's hospital bills. Alma was dating Ryan, who encouraged her to leave Jakarta behind and move to Surabaya to start fresh. Alma liked the idea and agreed. That's how she ended up accepting a job at the Samaya Apartments. But Ryan didn't take the news well. He already knew about the building's dark past. He warned her, "That place isn't safe. I've handled murder cases there, and I'm telling you, don't take the job. But Alma was desperate. I need this job, she said firmly. If I don't work, how will I pay for me and school fees? Ryan reluctantly agreed and helped move Alma and her sister into the apartment. The place looked luxurious, but there was an eerie, negative vibe in the air. Ulan and Panggonan welcomed them and took them to Unit 301 on the 3rd floor, where they would be staying. Ulan explained the rules of the building. There are 12 floors here, but only 5 are occupied. Floors 7 to 12 are vacant, and going to the 6th floor is strictly prohibited. Alma, curious, asked, "Why can't we go to the 6th floor?" Ulan seemed uneasy and simply replied, "The units there are damaged. For your safety, they're closed off." But Alma didn't find that answer convincing. Still, she kept quiet. For now, Ryan, ever the police officer, scanned the place with suspicion. His instincts told him something wasn't right. Then one day, a 5th-floor resident, Mr. Pak, came to Alma and complained, "Water is dripping from my ceiling. It's coming from the 6th floor, and I'm not okay with that." Alma remembered hearing about Tika's story from the staff and brought it up to Ulan. Once again, Ulan brushed it off, saying, "A technician will be sent tomorrow. Please bear with us for now." But Alma had had enough. Frustrated and suspicious, she decided to find out the truth for herself. She convinced Mian to come with her, and together they took the emergency stairs up to the 6th floor. They forced open the door to Unit 610. Inside, they noticed strange red stains near the bathroom. Just then, a woman's voice called out, inviting them inside. Horrified, Alma and Mian ran back down to the 3rd floor. But from that moment on, the fear of what they had encountered on the 6th floor never left them. The next morning, while Alma is working in the office, a paperclip falls to the ground and oddly forms the shape of the number 1. She thinks it's just a coincidence and brushes it off. Meanwhile, Mian is attending her dance class at the academy when she begins to experience something strange. She notices that her reflection in the mirror isn't mimicking her movements. Terrified, she screams. Bernie, a fellow student, rushes in and tells her that she's being followed by the ghost of a woman. He advises her to see Paksumo, a shaman, someone who might actually be able to help. Soon after, Alma and Mian go to see Paksumo, accompanied by Ryan. After listening to their story, Paksumo agrees to help. He performs a ritual outside Unit 610, but he's unable to make contact with the spirit of Kuntilanak. Instead, he tells them that the spirit haunting the place is named Nori, and that her daughter, Nidja, is also trapped here. Their spirits are restless due to unresolved matters from their past. Paksumo explains that in order to complete the ritual, they need personal belongings of Nori, items that are no longer anywhere in the building. Determined to uncover the truth, Alma and Ryan decide to investigate Nori's past and figure out what unfinished business is keeping the spirits bound. They eventually learn the real names of the mother and daughter spirits, Jangti and her young daughter Rani. As Alma, Ryan, and Mian dig deeper, they discover a haunting secret about the apartment. Jangti was once a dancer. Her mask held the power to reveal visions, and through it, Alma has a flashback to the gruesome night when Jangti and little Rani were murdered. The killer? None other than Pak Ayman, Jangti's own husband and the current building manager. Paksumo tells Alma that Ayman not only murdered his wife, but also his own daughter. Their souls remain trapped in the building, and they won't be free until justice is served. Alma is shaken. She now understands why the manager always warned her to stay away from certain areas. Ryan checks his gun and turns to Alma and Mian. "Stay safe," he says. "I'm going to arrest Ayman." But Ayman and his accomplice Balan have already caught wind of the plan, and what follows is a dangerous showdown in the haunted, abandoned corners of the apartment. Inside Unit 610, Alma, Ryan, and Paksumo discover signs that the dismembered bodies of Jangti and Rani may be hidden behind a wall. They hear a hollow sound when they knock. Ryan takes out his knife and begins cutting through the drywall. Suddenly, Ayman bursts in, gun in hand. "You ruined my life," he snarls. "This apartment is mine. No one will expose its secrets." Alma steps in front of Mian to protect her and demands, "Why did you kill your wife and daughter, Ayman?" Ayman laughs maniacally. "They were a burden. My wife tried to control me, and my daughter was just a mistake I made, so I got rid of them." At that moment, Pak Sumo begins chanting a powerful mantra. The room's temperature drops, lights flicker, water starts flowing from the bathtub. But it's not water, it's blood. From the blood-filled tub rises the spirit of Junkie, her long hair wet, her eyes glowing red. Behind her appears the ghost of little Ronnie. "You destroyed our lives," Junkie says in a chilling voice. "But now, it's our turn." When Eamon hears this, he becomes terrified. Panic sets in and the gun slips from his hand. Trembling, he mutters, "You're dead. You can't come back." But the two spirits begin moving closer and closer to him. Alma, Ryan, and Mian are frozen in fear, backed into a corner, but the spirits don't even glance at them. Their rage is focused entirely on Eamon. Eamon collapses to his knees, pleading for forgiveness. But the fury of the spirits is far from over. With her long black hair, the spirit of his wife wraps it tightly around his neck and lifts him high into the air. At the same time, their daughter grabs his legs. Together, they tear Eamon's body apart. He screams in agony, but no one comes to help. Alma shuts her eyes in horror and pulls Mian into her arms. Ryan stands nearby, holding a gun, but frozen, unsure of what to do. After the spirits have taken their revenge, the walls are left stained with blood. Then, just as suddenly as they came, the spirits vanish. But friends, the story doesn't end there. Bulin, who had been keeping this dark secret alongside Eamon, is still following Alma and Mian. She finds them outside Unit 610, a gleaming knife in her hand. As she lunges toward them, Alma and Mian flee down the emergency stairs. But Bulin keeps chasing them. Then suddenly, Jangati's spirit appears again. She steps in front of Bulin and speaks, "You hid the truth. You are guilty too." Bulin's face turns pale. Terrified, she throws the knife and runs. But Jangati lifts her into the air and kills her too. Finally, Alma, Mian, and Ryan escape from Unit 610. Mian is in tears, and she hugs Alma tightly, whispering, "We're safe now. Everything will be okay." Ryan calls the police. They arrive quickly, seal off the apartment, and all the remaining residents begin to move out. One by one, days later, we see Ryan and Alma planning their wedding. Mian returns to her dance academy, though a trace of fear still lingers in her heart. Her mentor, Barini, tells her that her father, Henry, also had a mysterious past. But he is long gone now. One quiet night, Alma sits with Ryan and asks, "Do you think our nightmare is really over?" Ryan gently takes her hand and says, "We've done everything we could. It's time to move forward." The camera then pans down the hallway of the apartment. Jangati's voice still echoes faintly in the corridor, a chilling reminder that her soul has not yet found peace. And with that, the movie ends.